Hey everyone, in this video we're talking about how to find the volume of a pyramid. So just a little FYI, a pyramid is, think of the Egyptians. It's some sort of shape on the base and then all of the other sides sort of come together in one point. It's different than a triangular prism, which would be a triangle sort of like that. On the triangular prism, there's lots of sort of points. They don't all come together at one like it does in the pyramid. So we're not doing that one. Doing this one, and the formula for volume of a pyramid is 1/3 times the area of the base and then times the height. It's important to realize that the area of the base will be the area down here. If the base is a rectangle, for a rectangular base prism, the area would be length times width. The same if it's a square base pyramid, the bottom is a square. To find the area of the square, it's also length times width. So that's the base. The height sometimes can be a little tricky. You might have to use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for height. There's two different heights on a triangle. The slant height would be if you were to follow from the tip down to a point on the base. It's different from the height from the middle point of the base straight up to the tip. They're different. But if we took sort of a cross-section of this triangle, we looked at what I just drew here, you can get a triangle with the right angle in it. This side would be the height, which is from the bottom to the top. This side here, we could say S is the slant height, and the length of this side of our triangle goes from a point on sort of the edge to the center, and that'll actually be half of the length, and the length would be this side. So let's do an example. Let's say I know that the slant height on my pyramid is 10. Let's say it's a rectangular based pyramid. The length of that side is 3, and the length of this side is 5, and I need to find the volume. The first thing I need to do is to figure out what the height is. So I'll use the slant height being 10, and the length was 5, so from the edge to the center would be half of 5. Half of 5 is 2.5, and I need to think which of these is the hypotenuse. Well, draw sort of an arrow through the right angle, and it'll point at the hypotenuse. 10 is my hypotenuse. We're using the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So c squared will actually be 10 squared, and I'll let that equal a. Doesn't matter, I could let it equal b and I get the same thing. That'd be 2.5 squared plus b squared. 2.5 squared, you can do that on your calculator. I get that's equal to 6.25 plus b squared equal 10 squared. 10 times 10, just be 100. To solve for b, first I'm going to subtract 6.25 from both sides so that goes away, and I'll get b squared equals 100 minus 6.25 would be 93.75. To get b, I'll just square root both sides, and I'll get b equals the square root of 93.75 will be about 9.7. Okay, so we can plug 9.7 up here in for h in our formula. The area of the base, well, the area of the base is length times width. The length is 5, the width is 3. 5 times 3 would be 15. So I'll put 15 up in here. And all I need to do is go 1 divided by 3, which would be the decimal 0.333 repeating, times 15 times 9.7. So when I do that on my calculator, I get that the volume is approximately equal to 48 0.4. I didn't say my units up here, but let's say the units had been feet, your volume would be in feet cubed. If your units were centimeters, it would be centimeters cubed.